Yes, indeed. It's Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight, we preview WWE Money in the Bank. Yes, indeed. Johnny is here. We are live in full effect. It's Wrestling Uncensored. What's happening, Big Johnny?
I'm feeling a little sad now. After watching SmackDown, I was unaware that Kevin Owens' mom was sick. Like, I met her a couple of times. She was always really great to me. So it's really sad to hear that she's sick. I hope she pulls through.
Yeah, that was a very emotional promo from Kevin Owens. I was getting a little choked up watching him talk about his mom in the hospital tonight on SmackDown, saying how he's been there for a few days. He got a call from his dad, who said he had to come home and see his mom because she was in the hospital. He didn't. He said she was still fighting in the hospital. Had been there for 4 or 5 days, and she would not have wanted him to miss a show. She would have wanted him to be there tonight on SmackDown, and she hated the Bloodline, and she wanted him to take out the Bloodline tomorrow night. Very emotional, real promo from Kevin Owens. You could see the emotion, that he put into it. It was powerful stuff from Kevin Owens tonight. Definitely the highlight of SmackDown, if you want to call it a highlight. It was the most impactful thing that happened on the show tonight, and we had new tag team champions. But I think you're right, Sean. Watching SmackDown tonight, that's what I'm left with, is wishing the Steen family well, Kevin Owens' family, and hoping that his mom, somewhere in this province that we live in, that Kevin grew up in, that his parents live in, hopefully she's doing all right and pulls through. It was a serious promo from Kevin Owens tonight on SmackDown. Cody kind of came out, did a thing, said a thing. Randy said a couple things about RKO, and then Kevin started going into this promo, and it almost seemed like Cody and Randy didn't know he was going to do that. By their reaction. It was an interesting moment on SmackDown tonight. It felt very real. So good for Kevin Owens. Doing what his mom would have wanted, would want him to do, showing up to work, beating up Solo Sikoa tomorrow, or as Cody called him, Skolo Sikoa, which I thought was fun. It was like, is that another one? Do they have another guy? I mean, they got Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. Do they have Solo Sikoa and Skolo Sioka? You want to do that now? But no, he just mispronounced the guy's name. John, I do have some news that may cheer you up. It'll make me more sad, but I do want to cheer. I want to cheer you up. You already know?
No, you can tell me about it. Yeah. The game's not over yet, though, right?
No, the game's not over yet, but the Red Sox have tied the game in the 9th inning, hitting a home run off Clay Holmes. So my Yankees were about to beat the Red Sox in the 9th. They had a 3-1 lead, and now it's 3-3 in the 9th inning, John. So you are a big Red Sox fan, so we'll be watching that game and seeing what happens, among other things, here on a very busy Friday night on the Ringside Report Network. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? God damn it.
That is
fantastic. Take that off my screen.
This is now one of the best episodes we've ever done.
Oh,
fantastic.
My God.
That completely cheered me up right there. Completely cheered me up.
What the hell next best was thing? That? Oh, my God. John. Are you in cahoots with the production team now?
I have to say, production team, you're fantastic. I also got this new hat. Hopefully Zev will wear it one day. That'll be the icing on the cake. If that ever happens.
Don't give my son a Red Sox hat because we will stomp it into the ground. He knows better. Both my kids know better. They're Yankees fans. Even my daughter, who's 2 years old, go Yankees! She knows. Dada watch Yankees? That's right, Zozo. Dada watch Yankees.
Well, their favorite wrestlers were on tonight, so they must have been very happy.
Yes, boy! They were actually in bed when Pretty Deadly came out. I was very disappointed that they weren't able to see Pretty Deadly because they both love Pretty Deadly.
I want
to mention my daughter. I'm going to mention her again. I go, we go, and she goes, on and on, on and on. We sing the song. Because the lions yawn. Tremendous. What a good song. I love that song. We are so pretty. We're pretty deadly. Tremendous. What a good song. I love those guys. I told my son, if we go to a show and Pretty Deadly comes out, I'm going to take my shirt off, put it over my head like Pretty Deadly, and stand there and go, yes, boy! And he's like, no, don't do that. And I'm like, I'm going to have to. Because one of the things about being a dad, I think, is trying to embarrass your kids. So I'm going to definitely do that at a WWE show. Take my shirt off, put it over my head like Pretty Deadly. Do the whole yes boy thing. What do you think, John? Maybe get that on TV, baby. Maybe start a thing. How sick would it be if like 20,000 people when Pretty Deadly came out that we all just took off our shirts? Everybody. I mean, not women, I guess. But I mean if they're wearing bras. Even if they're not, Netflix is coming, baby. What the hell? You put your shirt over your head. Yes, boy! The whole arena. That would be sweet. Forget the fireflies and the cell phone cameras and the whatever, Everybody with their shirts off saying, yes, boy. That's the future. They got a bit of a Pretty Deadly chant during the match tonight. They lost to the Street Profits. It was very disappointing. But I was happy that they finally got some TV time. They got a match. They are fantastic. They're the most entertaining tag team in the WWE. Find me a more entertaining tag team going right now.
I did enjoy R-Truth for what he was doing. I found he was more entertaining.
He was with The Miz, John. Took down the whole show.
Carrying the team. He was carrying the team.
Pretty Deadly, I think, is more fun.
That's how you see it. I didn't see it that way. I'd rather see R-Truth. That match wasn't very impressive, though. I mean, I think you admit that wasn't a very good match.
No,
I wouldn't say it was.
When Kip, what's his name? Kip Wilson and Elton Prince. Is that their names, Sean? Mm-hmm. Do you know?
I think you're correct. It sounds about right.
Are you impressed? I think I even know which one is Elton Prince and which one is Kip Wilson. Do you know how I know this, John? Because I play as them in the video game. Yes, boy! I usually choose Elton Prince. I think he's the better worker of the two. He's the blonde guy. I was watching them wrestle tonight, and I was like, one of them's got to be the worker of the team. I think it's Elton Prince, the blonde dude, who, he's got a good look. He's not a bad wrestler. He can cut a hell of a promo. There's something there. The other guy, I think, if he comes along, they could be a really formidable tag team. I like them a lot. No one seems to like them or care about them, but I'm telling you, I see these things coming. I'm good at spotting the trends in wrestling before they happen. Pretty Deadly's going to get super over at some point, John. It's going to happen. Mark my words. I called Chad Gable years ago. Immediately.
Well,
as soon as I saw him. He's pretty over right now, John. He's one of the main characters of Raw and has been for nearly a year. He's one of the main guys on Raw. There's always something happening with Chad Gable. You could say he's this or that, but he's come a long way from Shorty G.
Okay. But I wasn't too impressed with his week this week. It's nice what they're trying to do with him, but this feud with the Wyatt Six, and that's kind of ridiculous, too. I wasn't here last week, but the fact that he was killed by the Wyatt Six.
Yes.
But then he came back and wrestled anyways. So that destroys that whole faction right there. They're kind of useless. The first person they kill, and they came back right away and won their match. Yet they're still feuding with him.
Yeah.
It's a little bizarre. And nothing happened off that opening. That was a horrible opening segment to Raw, by the way. I thought.
Remind me of the opening segment of Raw. What was it? It was a
I
promo?
believe,
Oh, with Jey Uso and Gable and
yeah,
the Wyatts scaring Gable.
that's right. All they did was scare him, and nothing happened off that. Just the
Yeah.
light show, and he walked through into the different lights, and
Yeah.
then he just walked away.
Yeah.
That's the opening.
Well, they were there,
Not great.
right? They were kind of standing around terrifying him. It was almost like he left the arena in his mind and he was having flashbacks of the trauma that he experienced. I kind of understand what they were going for. Like, he's been through a traumatic event, and when the lights hit and he saw the people, that he survived, but still, like, he doesn't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, something happened to him, and people are like, yo, what happened? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm okay, but, like, it was bad, you know? So what happened to the guy? It was some sort of traumatic thing that, you know, he was then reliving when they showed up and were all spooky with him. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was all right. It was what it was. They're trying to do something.
Not a fan of it. Wasn't a fan of, like, I don't mind the idea of the whole VCR tape thing. It's kind of a unique idea. But again, what did we get off this? We just got Bo Dallas pretty much saying that he brought this group of individuals that nobody wanted, and now they're going to just do what they want.
Yeah.
I'm like, yippee. Again, not very exciting.
No. Oh, my goodness. What a terrible goal that was. Canada got caught sleeping.
It's 1-1.
Yeah. What the hell was that? Venezuela just scored. They just, like, kicked it big over. Like, the goalie was, like, way out. And Venezuela got the ball and just kicked it in the air over
Up and
him.
over. Yeah.
But
there's no extra time, by the way. It goes right to penalties.
Why?
That's the rules for Copa America. No extra time.
That was super
After 90
weird.
minutes.
This
penalties.
ref has been terrible, too, by the way. Just calling nothing. Mad fouls on Canada, and the ref's just like, I didn't see it. Crazy stuff. Like, blatant just pushing guys over, and you go, what? You can't push a guy in the box, can you? Seems like in the Euro, that's like a penalty kick. Copa America ref is like, whatever, dude. Keep playing, Canada. Get up. Stop being so weak. It's weird.
Stop diving.
Yeah, I hope Canada doesn't get screwed out of this game because I think they should for sure win. They've been playing better than Venezuela. And the fact that it's 1-1 now kind of sucks. That goal was bad, though. That was ugly. I don't know how they let that happen. Yeah. Saw France beat Portugal today in the Euro. Got my old school France jersey. You know I'm old school France when I got the Adidas. They've been with Nike for several years now, several tournaments. This is old. This is from the maybe 06 maybe. You know, it was the one where they went to the finals and lost to Italy. That's what this jersey's from.
Yeah. That was a great one, yeah. The headbutt, right?
It was a classic one with Zidane and the headbutt. That one. That's what this jersey is from. This is an old jersey, John. Only one
blood's still on it.
Only one star here for the World Cup. Only one World Cup victory. The new jerseys have 2 stars, you know, because of the last World Cup win that they got 8 years ago. 10 years ago, maybe now. Wow, it was a while. Or no, maybe 6.
Now France.
What was it? I don't know. You tell me.
France has now helped the fact that people will say Messi is better than Ronaldo now because Ronaldo could never win the big one.
Yeah.
So France has helped that now.
Yeah, good for France. Good helping Messi, I guess. I don't know. France didn't want to help Messi in the World Cup final when Messi beat France. That sucked. That was disappointing. You know, you make the final, you hope to win, and then when you don't, it's like not as good. You know what I mean?
You lost to the best player. I mean, it's not the worst thing, you know?
Yeah, they were the best team, too. It was what it was. It happens. France is always good. France always makes a good showing at these tournaments. Making the semifinals here, playing Spain, that's going to be fun. It's going to be tough, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Soccer's crazy. These international soccer tournaments, they're a lot of fun in the summertime. I like them. I like the Copa America. I love that Canada is in it. It's shocking that Canada is in it and having success. And I'm loving it. It's like Canada in a real soccer tournament. Copa America is legit. So I'm watching that. Still watching the Yankees. What's happening with the Yankees, John? Are we losing? They went down 1-2-3 in the ninth. We're in extras. They're going to lose. Yankees are going to lose. You know why? Because they suck.
Well, at least we got wrestling to talk about.
Don't do it.
So you can be...
Oh, it's going to happen again.
Yay! Let's go. Boston's been fantastic. That's what helped Raw a lot. The fact that it was in Boston. There's a lot of love for Boston this week. Again, I know you don't like the ring announcer because she likes Boston and all that, but I like her. She likes Boston.
You ever watch that show, Winning Time?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
Yeah, it was really good. It was, about the LA Lakers, and a lot of it was about the rivalry with the Boston Celtics. And they had a recurring phrase on that show that I really enjoyed. And the catchphrase was, "Fuck Boston." I liked it.
It's funny. At Yankee Stadium tonight, they were chanting, "We want Boston." I don't think they're chanting that now. So things can change quite quickly. And hey, this is kind of karma too, because they booed Mercedes Moné in Long Island. A lot of horrible things said about Boston overall, all the teams. And now Boston getting a lot of love. It's earned.
So mad. Makes me so angry. The Yankees' failure right now is really pissing me off. Let's talk about professional wrestling.
It was in Boston, yeah.
Was it?
Well, Raw was. Tonight we were in Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah, wait a second. We were in Canada. They did an opening promo on SmackDown tonight. They had Jey Uso. They had all the Money in the Bank people come out and say some things about winning Money in the Bank, right? Jey Uso came out and he thanked... Huh?
Screw the draft. Who cares?
Well, it's Money in the Bank tomorrow, and they're trying to promo it, right? I mean, you kind of give him a pass for this, no?
Well, just, does you have to start the show with the Raw guy? Like, that seemed kind of off, but whatever.
Well, again, they wanted to do the LA Knight Jey Uso thing, back and forth.
Yeah, it's nice, but
it's
LA show.
LA should have probably started. I don't agree with. I don't disagree with you there. That's fair. But Jey Uso came out. He thanked Canada for letting him in, which I thought was funny because you never know with the Usos. They've had some arrests. Canada doesn't always want them in our country.
It's their fault.
It is their fault. They shouldn't drink and drive. LA Knight came out, and he's like, well, it seems like you're the favorite to win this thing this year. I was the favorite last year, and it's like, yeah, you didn't win. Is Jay the favorite to win this year? It didn't seem like that to me. I kind of feel like Drew McIntyre's the favorite.
Drew is my pick, but I think the betting odds do have Jey Uso. And, I think when this first started, we thought Jay is a solid pick. So, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he will win. Carmelo Hayes came out and said some stuff on his way to the ring. Chad Gable came out, and the fans started chanting, "You suck." And Gable's like, come on, have a little sympathy for everything that I've been through. I lost my family. I took a shot to the head, and the Wyatt Six keep coming after me. He was like, have some sympathy for me. I really like Chad Gable. He's really entertaining. Andrade came out. He was unintelligible. He said something about Money in the Bank. I'm not sure what. And then Drew McIntyre came out, and the fans started chanting CM Punk immediately. In fact, there was no one more over in this segment than the guy who wasn't there, CM Punk. So, yeah. That's, that says a lot, I think, about who they have for Money in the Bank and who's currently on the roster and how over CM Punk is. Right? No one, Drew McIntyre's in the ring talking to everybody, and the fans are chanting CM Punk. They're not chanting Jey Uso. They're not saying Yeet. They're not saying LA Knight. They're not saying Chad. You know what I mean? They're not.
Right.
The focus is on the guy who's not even there. It's interesting.
Well, I've said this in the past. Like, once Cody left Raw, Punk's the top guy on that show.
Yeah.
He's the most over guy. So making him the world champion one day makes a lot of sense, because who gets the reactions that he does on Raw? I think Jay's kind of up there a bit, but mainly on the entrance. That's it. I feel Punk is more lasting overness.
I think if Punk can stay healthy, he's the top guy in the whole WWE. If he can stay healthy.
That's a hard ask. I think him just being around once in a while, that's reality, I think.
Mm-hmm. So Drew says, when they start chanting CM Punk, he says, I expected better from you, Canada. We're all part of the Commonwealth, which I thought was very funny. Just referring to the Commonwealth, I think, is always funny. I'm not even sure who's in the Commonwealth. I think it's Canada, England, Scotland, Australia, maybe? What?
I feel Ireland's a part of it. Commonwealth, are they not?
Commonwealth of Nations. The British Commonwealth. Oh my God. 56 member states? Are you kidding me, brother? How many people are in this thing currently? Just give me a list. I don't know what the Commonwealth is, but Drew, he mentioned it. I know that there was kind of an Olympics thing, Commonwealth Games. Current member states. Give me that. Oh my God, there's so many, John. The Commonwealth is massive. Ireland is not in the Commonwealth. Neither is
Northern Ireland.
Neither is Zimbabwe, okay? But a lot of other countries seem to be, including Antigua and Barbuda, Australia, Bahamas, Bangladesh, Barbados, Belize, Botswana, Brunei, Cameroon, Canada, Cyprus, Dominica, Eswatini, Fiji, Gabon, Gambia, Ghana, Grenada, Guyana, India, Jamaica, Kenya. India? Really? I don't understand.
Bigger Commonwealth than you thought.
I don't know. There's a lot of... These are all the current member states. There's more. Pakistan, Seychelles, Sierra Leone. What? This can't be right.
Apparently all of South Africa, it sounds like.
I don't know. It's like a bunch of countries. It doesn't really make sense. What the hell is the Commonwealth? I honestly thought it was is Canada still British Commonwealth? Yeah. Is this... I think I'm looking at the wrong thing. Commonwealth of Nations is not the British Commonwealth. It is. 56 member states. Did you have any idea about this, John?
Not 56. That's a lot more than I expected.
That's what this is? 56. I thought it was... Honestly, my whole life I thought it was Commonwealth was England, Scotland, Australia, right. Canada, maybe some other places, but I didn't really think about it. It's never something that I've ever thought about until this moment. Thank you, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre teaching us all.
Learn something with wrestling, yeah.
56
Crazy.
Member states. We had no idea, John. Maybe we should focus less on pro wrestling and more on, the world.
It's a big world out there. We're not even covering most of it.
Damn. So does that mean the King of England kind of has say in all those countries? Seems like a bit much. England is, what is that? They're still doing all that? I mean, in Canada, it's kind of not real, but it kind of is at the same time. If the king went totally bananas, he could kind of dissolve our government, I think, possibly. If he wanted to, he could do whatever he wanted. I think there's, rules in place. I'm pretty sure they could behead whoever they want. Technically.
No. I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
I think it's more, we just show respect to them now. That's pretty much it. We show respect to our heritage.
Very few have the king of head of state. Australia doesn't anymore. Bermuda doesn't anymore. India So who has the king as head of state? Jimmy James is like, you never seen the Commonwealth Games? No, I never watched no Commonwealth Games. What the hell am I watching that for? I don't want to watch people from England running in a 100-meter dash. They're not fast. I'm getting information now. Who has the king as the head of state? New Zealand, Canada, some other places. It's not that many places. Why do we still have it? Can we get rid of that? Let's put some other people on the money. Let's put like Johnny North or Hulk Hogan, something cool.
Well, we always said Bret Hart should be on a dollar, so that makes sense.
Owen Hart, How about
that?
Owen
would be fantastic. I feel Bret's more well-known.
And then every year, the winner of the Owen Hart Cup gets a special toonie in print. Their head is on the toonie.
I think the belt looks pretty sweet, actually. The fact that you get to keep that, that's pretty nice.
It's a nice belt. It is nice. Okay, so Drew talked about the Commonwealth, and he threw off our entire show, John. And then he started talking about Punk and what he's going to do to him, and it was nothing compared to what he's going to do to these guys if they get in his way. And I'm like, if they get in your way, you're all trying to win Money in the Bank. What do you think's going to happen? They're just going to let you climb the ladder? There's like 5 of them. What? It was an odd statement, I'm going to do violence like I did to CM Punk if any of you get in my way tomorrow night. And I'm like, well, you're in a match together, so I think you're going to have to do the violence. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there was a couple moments like that. I think it was on the show period where people said like, oh, if I win. No, when I win. So I think some people messed up what they should have said when it's like, this could happen. No, it will happen. You got to be more confident. I think he's just like, this could happen. Stay out of my way. But that doesn't really work when you really say it. It's like, no, I'm going to go through all these people.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
So everybody kind of got a shot to say some words. LA Knight and Jey Uso said more words. Drew McIntyre spoke quite a bit. The other guys, had a sentence or two in there. And then everybody brawled. And at the end of the whole segment, it was Jey Uso and LA Knight kind of staring at each other, standing tall in the ring. And that brings us to Money in the Bank. We did see Drew McIntyre qualify for Money in the Bank in a triple threat match this week on SmackDown in the main event, getting the win over Sheamus and Ilya Dragunov.
Good match.
It was pretty good. Where's Gunther?
Vacation, it's summertime, taking it easy.
Right. Because he's got the match at SummerSlam, and he, after he won King of the Ring, he kind of disappeared. He's like, I got the match at SummerSlam. See ya.
Yeah, exactly. Why do anything? You have it set. You have your spot.
You're not wrong. But he's, kind of been missing in action. Other guys are doing stuff on Raw. So Money in the Bank, John, the men's ladder match. We had a big segment here, previewing it on SmackDown. You've already given me who your pick is. Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Chad Gable, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and Jey Uso in this thing. It's a 6-man ladder match. Winner gets the Money in the Bank ladder match contract for a shot at a belt. If Drew doesn't win, it's because CM Punk has done something to him, right?
Yeah, I could see that. I just think him winning and then trying to cash in the same night and Punk screwing that up, to me, that's more intriguing, and that sells it more for SummerSlam, I think.
Okay. So that's what we do?
Well, I think it's been confirmed. Again, I could be wrong about this, but that Priest versus Rollins is the main event for Money in the Bank. If that's the case, I feel pretty confident with this whole McIntyre winning and trying to cash in the same night. But Punk's screwing it up.
So Drew, does he cash in and fail because of Punk, or does he fail to cash in because Punk stops him?
I'm going to go with a cash in and a failure because of Punk. So he wastes the briefcase tomorrow too, I think.
Whoa. That's big.
Yep.
That's big. Okay. I think you might be right.
Completely, yes. I know.
You know, I want to disagree with you because it's fun for the show, but I also don't want to bullshit anybody. I'm not trying to throw you a bunch of malarkey out here, you know? I'm trying to bring that one back. Malarkey? I don't know if you heard the show last night, but anyways.
I did, but AJ was kind of right about the Hawk 2 thing, though. Because Logan Paul did mention that, apparently, like on social media. So I think that might come back to haunt you and Angelo.
What do you
possibly.
mean?
You might have an apology. Apparently, you guys have to apologize to AJ because apparently Logan Paul might bring that in.
To pro
WWE.
wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be disappointing. It seems unnecessary. AJ might be right. I mean, it's possible. I just think, you know, I don't know. He's the target audience, and it's a little disappointing. That's the fundamental point.
I know.
You know. Shout out to Antoinette out in Toronto. Getting ready for Money in the Bank. She says SmackDown was not the best, was not the greatest. Money in the Bank better be better. Shout out Antoinette. Shout out Angelo Contagonis. Thank you for gifting the memberships last night. Very generous. Both of you, all the members in the chat over at join.ringsidereport.net supporting the channel. Antoinette, Angelo, Ryan Katz, Jimmy James, a lot of members checking in tonight. Franco316, I see you as well. CSL RC Lorne, who got his membership gifted last night by, I think, Antoinette or Angelo. I'm not sure. Either or.
I think it was Angelo.
Angelo, yeah. Nice. Lauren is saying thanks, Antoinette, so maybe it was Antoinette.
Oh, maybe it was, yeah. Could be wrong.
Oh, Antoinette just gifting another membership to Nick Hepburn, Doug's son, Nick. Picking up a membership from Antoinette. Thank you, Antoinette, for supporting the Ringside Report Network, continuing to grow the membership over at join.ringsidereport.net to support the YouTube channel, membership.ringsidereport.net to support the channel as a whole. Over at membership.ringsidereport.net. We had a question from Rumble. Wanted to know if the women's tag team champions were on SmackDown tonight. They were not. The Scottish Fire and Dawn not on the show tonight. Probably won't be at Money in the Bank either. We did see Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill get a win over Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. And then they cut a promo afterwards talking about taking the tag team titles back. So it seems like they're still a team and they're still going for the tag team championship. That match was what it was.
It wasn't too great. I can understand why Antoinette didn't really enjoy the show. In terms of wrestling matches, I don't think anything was really stellar tonight. The main event was all right just because of the ending.
Yeah.
And obviously, again, I think Kevin Owens, sadly, I think had the moment of the show.
Yeah.
Again, hopefully his mom pulls through.
The Street Profits over Pretty Deadly. I don't know if you noticed. You probably did. It was hard to not see if you were watching the match. At one point, Kip Wilson was not in the right spot to take the swanton from Dawkins, and he just rolled to the middle of the ring and just lay there to take the move. It was like... It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It did not look good.
I mean, that could fall on a lot of people, though, not just him.
Yeah, I don't want to blame him. I'm going to say that's the Street Profits' fault entirely. I don't even know which Street Profit. Both of them. I'm going to put the blame on anybody but Pretty Deadly because I love Pretty Deadly so much. I just find them so entertaining. They're so fun, John. They're the most entertaining tag team in WWE. Everybody else is pretty bland. Like, Street Profits? Really? We're still doing that? It's the same old thing with the Street Profits? Why?
They got a girl with them now, at least.
Okay, they have somebody with them. So what? They used to have Bianca with them. This is a step down as far as I'm concerned. Man, Bianca's so good. Seeing Jade Cargill in the ring tonight and then seeing Bianca get the tag, you're like, oh, wow, there's a gigantic difference between the way they move and wrestle. Bianca's so good. She's just such a talent. It's almost like she's kind of wasted in this tag team right now. But Bayley's doing her thing as champion. There's no room for Bianca at the top level. I wish they had more stories in the women's division other than just the championship story. Like the men's division gets to have stories other than just for the belts. The women's divisions, it's just like whoever the champion is gets to do a story and their challenger gets to do something, but pretty much everybody else is just around as filler until it's their turn.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But again, the problem I think might be the fact that SmackDown, you have such little time and you're trying to pack everything in there. It's harder, I think, to make stories like that. So that's why you kind of got to make it like, oh, we're just a tag team and we're going to do this. It's hard to make a long story. Like, look at Bayley. They put so much effort into Bayley, and she doesn't get that much time. So it's really hard to build up stories, I find, on SmackDown. Raw, it's easier, but there's not much to work there. Raw, it's rough.
Well, Raw, it's just Liv Morgan doing stuff with Dominic Mysterio. I actually think they did a pretty good job of hyping up the Zelina Vega, Liv Morgan match, including Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio into all of that. You know, I don't think it was terrible. I mean, they put some effort into it, and the Liv and Dominic stuff is like, I don't hate it. Honestly, I don't hate the Liv and Dominic stuff. I think Liv is doing well. I think in this role, she's pulling it off. I think Dominic is working too, and you know, it's just building to when Rhea Ripley comes back. She's gonna be so pissed. It's great. And there's like, who's Liv really? You know, is she really trying to get with Dominic, or is she with JD McDonuts this whole time? You know, like what's really going on? And then there's Priest, you know, who's a whole other thing, and he doesn't like Liv Morgan around. It's not bad. I don't hate it.
Like, I'll give you this. The Priest and Dom thing, they had a little bit of a thing backstage where they were talking. That was pretty good. And the crowd got into that, too, even though it was backstage. That was all right. But the moment when Corey Graves started saying that Dominic Mysterio... he's not like Eddie Guerrero. He's more like Art Barr. That was horrific. Like, they can't do that on television. I can't believe he said that. Why? I was kind of mad when that happened.
Why?
Well, look up Art Barr. Look up what he did, and you're going to tell me like you're going to say Dominic Mysterio is more like that? It's pretty bad. It's really bad. And they clearly didn't realize it. You don't realize it, but it's really bad.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So he had some, let's call it sexual impropriety. He did some bad stuff, allegedly, I think. Was he ever arrested for these things?
Yeah, he was arrested, yeah.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Well, then we can say what he was arrested for. Anyways, well, let's not dwell on Art Barr. Yeah, okay. I didn't catch that line, John. So.
Oh. Okay.
And I don't think.
Well, again, I just think. No, but I just feel this whole thing has been done in poor taste. They've done the whole like parallels, the whole Vince McMahon scandal, and this. Like, I just haven't been liking it. And they keep doing it every week, these little things. And now they throw in this week. Like, it kind of makes me sick. They don't have to do this, but they do it.
How are there... With the texts? Showing the
the
text to your
text.
friends. That is kind of Vince-ish. It is funny that I didn't even think about that, John.
It's not funny.
No, it's not funny, but I didn't even think about the fact that there's a woman sending we understand it to be some lewd text messages, maybe some naked boob pictures or whatever to Dominic Mysterio in, you would think, confidence, and he's then showing all his friends in the Judgment Day, which is what Vince was accused of. You would think they wouldn't want to do that on TV. I didn't even think about that. That is kind of fucked. Oh, shit. Wow. Did you come up with this theory, or is this going around? I haven't heard this.
I can't be the only one that saw this. I'm sure other people saw this as well, but it's the first thing that came to mind when this happened. So I'm sure other people have connected the dots.
I didn't even think about it, but yeah. And they're framing it as Dominic is kind of innocent and Liv is the aggressor.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
You're getting it now. Like,
that's fucking crazy.
But should we be surprised? I mean, WWE's done this in the past too. They kind of poke fun or like, oh, there's interesting parallels like with real life situations that were put to play on television. They've done this in the past. Shouldn't be surprised, but people say it's a new company. Not really.
Holy shit. Michael Hayes and Bruce Pritchard getting up to some ideas still. They got some ideas, pal. Hey, here's an idea for you, Bruce. Listen. Ronda Rousey was right. If Bruce Pritchard's still there, Vince is still running the company with Bruce as his puppet. Bruce, I've got some ideas. Listen. We got to make it so, Liv is like, she's young. She's trying to, she's the aggressor. You got to make it so she's aggressive. I was just the innocent victim, pal. I didn't want to have sex with this woman. Holy shit. Do you think Vince is pulling the strings on that?
Is it too much that Dom has like a mustache now too?
Dominic should have a mustache.
I mean, that got him a lot of heat. That might just be a coincidence, I think.
It might be. Whoa. Are they doing this as like a shot? Like, look. Vince is the victim here. This woman was a predator. She was trying to get Vince. She was a nymphomaniac. Sex crazed. Like, they're trying to frame it like that. Trying to get something out of Vince. Like, Liv Morgan's trying to get something out of Dominic. She's trying to use him. Trying to, seduce him to get what she wants. Which is the WWE Championship. That is fucking crazy.
Well, at least we don't have to deal with it tomorrow, at least. So that was just for Raw.
Cool. God damn, pal. I'm shocked. Like, I don't even know. Like, you blew my mind here, John. Unbelievable. That is
just focus
wild.
on the pay-per-view. Or
Okay.
PLE, sorry. Let's focus
on the plea. Let's focus on the plea deal that Vince is going to have to take. Oh, no, PLE, not PLEA. I understand, John. I understand. Money in the Bank. Okay, so you think Drew McIntyre is going to win. I think he is also going to win the Money in the Bank. And then I think he will try to cash in, but he will fail to cash in. I believe he will still hold the briefcase. I don't think he's going to actually cash and then get stopped. I think he's going to get stopped before he hands the briefcase to the referee. That's the only difference that I have in the way it goes down from the way you have it, where he actually cashes in the briefcase, gives up the case, goes for the belt, and then loses because of Punk.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I think Punk stops him from cashing. I do think Punk gets involved. Here's the question, though. So we both have Drew winning. Who do you want to win? Like, if you could just choose, even if it doesn't have to make sense. Who would you like to see kind of in a spot where they're looked at as a future world champion within the next year?
LA Knight right away.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Won't happen though. You know that too.
I
But
don't think so, yeah. It's weird, eh? Are they ever going to pull the trigger on this guy? What does he get?
oh, WrestleMania one day, hopefully.
I thought he was going to take the U.S. title from Logan Paul. That didn't seem to happen.
Can still happen at SummerSlam. It's not impossible.
Yeah. It could. Is it gonna? Is that the match?
Hopefully, I'm hoping. Like, Money in the Bank might make things a lot clearer. I think.
Yeah, right? Because aren't they still feuding? They didn't have the match, right? They haven't wrestled yet?
They had a three-way, not a singles.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, who is the three-way with? Why am I blanking on this?
This was with Santos. It was last week, which I wasn't around for. It
Oh,
happened. You were
right.
there.
It was on SmackDown. Yeah, that doesn't seem conclusive, though, right?
You could do a singles. Yeah, it's definitely not over. I think.
Yeah, I feel like that might be the SummerSlam thing, and maybe he takes the belt from him at SummerSlam. Maybe that's what LA Knight gets. I don't think it's going to be Money in the Bank, though. Who does Drew attempt to cash in on? Seth or Priest?
Priest.
I agree. God damn,
It's
John.
because of
We're
the
agreeing too
stipulations.
damn much, man. What the hell?
But it's because of I would have said the other way, but the stipulations like kind of made it that Priest has to win because it's like if he loses, he's out of the Judgment Day. That's not going to happen at Money in the Bank. That happened at like a SummerSlam or WrestleMania. That's too big for it to happen just now. So Priest has to win the match.
I agree. Him leaving Judgment Day should not happen right now. It doesn't really make sense. And why is Seth so hell-bent on Priest leaving Judgment Day? They cut this promo this week where he's like, "You'd just be better off without them. I want to see your full potential." And it's like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? The match is about you liking Priest so much that you want to free him from the Judgment Day by taking away his world title and forcibly making him leave all his friends? What? Like, it was a really weird promo. I don't like this feud. It's been very bad. But, who am I? I'm not a visionary or a revolutionary like Seth freaking Rollins. So what do I know, I guess? It's just not been good. That promo on Raw this week was fucking awful.
I mean, Seth is just over because of the entrance. He just says whatever, and it doesn't really matter what he says because it's not usually anything particularly interesting. So let him say what he has to say, and he likes what he says, and whoever backstage likes it, so it's all good. Something's over. What happened?
Nothing's over, but Venezuela just missed a penalty. It's in penalties right now, John. Canada, Venezuela, Copa America, quarterfinals. It's in penalties. It was 1-1. Venezuela scored, then Canada scored. Venezuela just missed the net on their second shot. Here comes Canada for their second shot. And, France won on penalties today. It was pretty sweet. Come on. Oh, no! He missed! Way over the net!
I love the play-by-play. The play-by-play is great.
Dude missed. Canada man missed the net by a mile. Holy shit. Oh. I thought we had a nice advantage there. Oh well.
In soccer, it should be, oh no, it should be like a loud one. I don't like a drag.
Nah.
They drag out their stuff, don't they?
Yeah, I'm not a soccer man. I don't do that stuff.
Okay.
Did the Yankees lose tonight? Is that what happened? Yeah. Yankees lost to the Red Sox in extra innings, 5-3. Holy shit.
That's good.
No, it's not. Well, not for me. It's good for you. Oh, this is awful. I can't believe they lost, man. They blew it in the 9th, and then they lose in the 10th. Fuck.
Let's hope Canada can win.
Canada. I don't know. Venezuela just scored.
Damn.
Venezuela just scored. Canada's got to score here. 2-1 Venezuela. Venezuela scored on their first and third shot. Here comes Canada trying to score on their third shot to even it up in penalties. Oh, boy, Johnny. This is dangerous play. Dangerous soccer going on, John. Come on,
Exciting.
Canada. Okay. So Priest beats Seth Rollins, and the stipulation for this one is if Seth loses here, he doesn't get another shot at the title as long as Priest is champion, which, whatever. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he doesn't get another shot at Priest with the belt. Fine. Oh, Canada scored.
Woohoo.
Let's go. Okay. Come on. Let's stay in this. Goodness. But yeah, I mean, Priest is going to hold the belt for whatever, an amount of time. But I think... How long do you think his run is? Max.
Oh, SummerSlam. That's it. Like, Gunther's always the end game here.
Wow. You think so? For sure? 100%?
Yeah. Because what's after SummerSlam?
Oh, they're going to Germany?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think you're probably right. It should be the crowning of Gunther. Like, it's about time with this guy. He's so fantastic. Oh, save! Big save! From Canada! The goalie hit it, and then it hit the post, and that wasn't a goal. Oh, Canada goalie with a big save, Johnny. I think that was a save. Yeah. The goalie tapped it, and then it bounced off the post. That was a save, bro. That was huge. Oh, my God. Come on, Canada. If Canada scores here, it's massive. This is fourth shot. It's 2-2. You score here, and Venezuela must score on their next shot, or it's over, and Canada wins. Damn.
Dramatic.
Canada could be going to the semifinals of the Copa America against Argentina. Let's see a goal.
Wow.
Oh, no!
Unbelievable.
He saved it. He shot it right at the goalie, and the goalie was like, cool. Let me stop that with my hands. The goalies are allowed to use their hands in soccer. Yeah. Oh, man. It's tight now, John. You know what's funny is I was nervous for the France-Portugal shootout. I'm not that nervous for this for some reason. I think I care less about Team Canada in soccer than I do about France. Feels like there's less on the line.
Well, and you can believe France could go all the way. Canada, it's like, well, Argentina, just getting to Argentina is an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's it. They're not beating Argentina. That would be bananas. Well, it's 2-2, and they're down to their 5th shots here, John. This is bananas. Oh. Come on, Canada. Stop this. Kick it in the seats. Oh, he kicked it in the net, and he scored. Venezuela scored. Canada must score, or we are dead.
Pressure.
Dead in water.
Pressure.
Oh, my goodness, Johnny. So many soccer shootouts I'm watching today. I watched the France one. It was very exciting. Now another one. So much on the line in these soccer shootouts. Canada must score or it's over. Who wins the ladies' Money in the Bank? Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, or Zoe Stark.
I mean,
I don't know if you
I
heard...
got to go with.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Well, I just my pick. I feel it should be Tiffany for storyline's sake, because the whole connection with Bailey and Nia, Tiffany makes the most sense. So I think it should be her.
I think she does make a lot of sense. Canada just scored.
Hooray!
More penalties. I think it's do or die now. After
Yep.
5, what
Sudden
do they do?
death.
Do or die? It's like sudden death. You must score if you miss, right? So.
Well, everyone gets one shot, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
So like
shot for shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is intense. Intense soccer, John. You know, when you're watching Euro Cup, you have to call it football. And when you're watching Copa... Oh, he saved it! Oh, Canada save! Suck it, Venezuela! Oh, shit. Come on. All we got to do is score. Oh, man. When you watch Copa America, John, it's football. Football, Euro Cup, football, Copa America. Pretty sure. Soccer when it's just like MLS, I think.
I feel if Canada's going to win, it's got to be here. It's too close now.
I mean, this is the shot. This is it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I think Chelsea Green is going to win it for Canada tomorrow at Money at the Bank. I think it's just too early for Tiffy time, and I think they're going to go in a different direction, and they're going to push Chelsea a little bit more. I think she's going to be very obnoxious with that briefcase, and it'll be a lot of fun. Canada scores! Canada wins! We'll go to semifinals of Copa America! Oh, woo. Shit! Oh! I was about to sing the anthem. Oh, Canada! No, we're not doing that. But Canada is going to play Argentina. Suck it, Argentina. We're coming for you. Imagine if we fucking beat Argentina. That would be the greatest victory in Canadian sports history, maybe.
I think this is pretty great. I mean, Canada can have this.
This is one of the biggest victories ever. This is the biggest win in Canadian soccer history, perhaps.
Men's Canadian soccer.
Yeah.
The women did pretty good.
Yeah, no, women are good at soccer in Canada. But the men are starting to catch up. And, you know, I'm just not used to watching the women's tournaments like I am used to watching the men's tournaments. It's just kind of ingrained in me. Watching the Copa America and the Euro Cup. Like, the women's tournaments weren't always on TV. They are now, so you can watch them, but it's like it doesn't, you know? Oh, Venezuela kid crying in the stands. I almost feel bad for him. But I don't! Keep crying, kid! Canada will ruin your dreams. Sorry, Iho. You will keep crying. Whoa. Franco316 says, time to get a Team Canada soccer jersey. They are kind of nice. They're not bad. I don't hate them. They look a little bit like this one, which is not bad. France, better, but Canada? Wow. Oh, my God. That was sick. I can't believe Canada is going to the semifinals of Copa America, John. That is massive. They're going to play Argentina for a shot at the finals of this thing. Copa America is a very legit international tournament. This is Canada's first time ever in it. And they just beat Venezuela in the quarters in penalties, in extra penalties. And they're going to the semis. Congratulations, Team Canada Soccer. You did it. You made me watch your games and give a fuck. That's massive. For me to care about Team Canada Soccer, you know it's got to be legit as hell. Like, usually you watch Team Canada play in like a C-League tournament against some jabronis and they lose and you're like, well, who cares? This sucks. This is a real tournament. This is a real international tournament. They're going to play Argentina, who won the World Cup, who have Messi. Like, it's real. Brazil is in Copa America. This is like as legit as it gets. Oh my God. Tuesday, 7 o'clock Argentina, Canada. Damn, son.
It's been a fun watch along tonight.
Yo. Yeah, right? We just did a soccer watch along, John. We never do that. That took the sting away from the Yankees losing again. Was that 4 or 5 in a row they've lost? They suck.
Sweet.
Shut up, dude.
Can we get the Red Sox symbol back on the screen again?
Never. Never.
There's still a couple more matches left for Money in the Bank. No? We've only done 3, right? There's still 2 left?
You don't think Chelsea Green has a shot to win? You're picking Tiffy time. I think it's too early for Tiffy time.
Okay.
And I'm going with Chelsea. I just think it's Canada. They're doing a lot with her. And I think her with Money in the Bank would be good. I think they could, they could do a lot with her kind of taunting Bayley and threatening Bayley, especially with Piper there with her. Chelsea is not bad. Like, she's good in the ring. She can talk. She's very obnoxious. People seem to hate her. I think Chelsea's underrated. And I think WWE knows it, and they're going to do something about it by giving her the briefcase.
I think it's actually a very good pick, to be honest. I mean, what you say makes a lot of sense. I just find what's going on with Nia, I just find Tiffany, like, that's a better story, I think.
I just think we're too early for Tiffy time to be going for it.
I'm not saying she has to win.
They did keep saying on Raw, the men's Money in the Bank, you cash in and you're champion 80% of the time or whatever it was. And then they're like, the women, It's 100% of the time. They kept telling you, don't forget, guys, when the women win the Money in the Bank, they always win the belt, which made me kind of feel like they're telling us this to prepare us for the woman to win and then win Money in the Bank and then cash in and fail, which, I think for Tiffy time to cash in and fail, it would be pretty bad for her in her career. Like, it would be kind of like, oh, maybe they don't really believe in her that much. But if Chelsea Green cashed in and failed to win against Bayley, that would make a lot of sense.
I think either or is fine. Because, like, look at Austin Theory. Like, it didn't hurt him too much in the end. Like, maybe he's not the top star, but he's still a star in WWE, I think.
He just lost his tag team championship tonight. Him and Grayson Waller from Australia lost the tag team championship tonight that they won at WrestleMania. Tag team champions dropping the belts. DIY, new tag team champions. We kind of suspected this would go down. I think I predicted it last week on the show. It's kind of the end.
I think you did.
Yeah, eh? Gargano and Ciampa. Looky, the guys who dressed up as their bosses at WrestleMania get to be tag team champions now. Cool.
Yeah, it gave Toronto something.
Yeah, they gave him something. But they're no Pretty Deadly.
Well, I see them being Pretty Deadly if they ever face off.
Yeah. I do too. I don't know. I've never I think they're fine, but I haven't been excited about DIY. They don't get me pumped. I don't really, it's kind of like, hey guys, we're here. Thumbs up, dudes. It's like, okay. There's nothing there, really.
Honestly, I would have put the tag titles on Kevin and Randy instead, actually.
Yeah? Yeah, to feud with Tama and Tonga, possibly?
Yep.
Yep. Not a bad move. Not a bad move.
Not what they're doing, though. They're not doing it, though.
Nope. They made DIY tag team champions. And they'll feud with Pretty Deadly?
Them, probably the Good Brothers. There's a bunch of D-level teams, I think, for them to face.
Are the Good Brothers still around? I haven't seen those guys or AJ Styles
since what? Scotland?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Since he lost
isn't
to Cody.
AJ wrestling? AJ's wrestling in Japan now, right?
What?
AJ went to go wrestle in Japan, isn't he? Like
He did?
he's doing a match. Yeah,
Why?
because he wanted to, and I guess they set it up that he could wrestle in Japan, so he's doing that.
For who?
I want to say, is it Noah? I think it's
okay.
Noah.
Okay. Yeah, they're kind of trying to do a work-in thing with them. Okay. That's not really relevant for WWE, really. Doesn't really do much for me there. Okay, let's get to the rest of this Money in the Bank show here. Tomorrow night. We'll be on right after Money in the Bank, John. Did you know that? You'll be here, right?
Yeah, well, it starts at 7, right? Money in the Bank, so around 10, I guess.
I hope so. I thought it started at 8.
See. No, I think it starts at 7.
Oh, that's
Pre-show's
great.
at 5.
Oh, fantastic. So hopefully 10 o'clock is when our post show will start, which would be really nice for me. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Intercontinental Championship on the line. I think Sami will win in Canada. He will defeat Braun Breaker and retain the Intercontinental title. Yeah.
It's funny. I keep going against Sami. He keeps winning. But again, I just can't see him winning this match. The way they made Braun Breaker and like they continue to make him into this like force. Like I feel like he's got to win.
I don't know. I like Sami's promo on Raw this week telling Breaker he's not as good as he thinks he is, and he's going to show him that. I think Sami's going to find a way to beat Braun Breaker. He's gonna use something Braun Breaker does. He's going to use a mistake that Braun Breaker makes against him, and he's going to find a way to win. I don't think it's going to be... I mean, he might, Breaker might make a mistake and then take a haluva kick and then 1, 2, 3 type of thing. I don't know. But I think Sami walks out still Intercontinental Champion. I don't think Breaker gets it yet. Breaker might be the guy to beat Sami, but I don't think he's going to do it in this match. I got Sami retaining.
Well, that's what makes this a little bit more of an interesting PLE, because usually it's like, it's kind of predictable. But this one, not completely. It feels like some matches, it could go either way. That's pretty good.
I think the Money in the Bank ladder match could go many different ways for the men and women.
Yep.
Right? I mean, we agreed on the men's. We disagreed on the women's. But even though we agree on who's going to win the men's with Drew McIntyre, we also, are kind of entertaining the possibility of Jey Uso winning, Chad Gable winning, and LA Knight winning, I think. I don't think Andrade or Carmelo Hayes have a shot in hell, but I do think Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, Chad Gable, and LA Knight are all in play, and they could all win for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Do the Wyatt Six make an appearance at Money in the Bank?
Sure, cost Chad Gable. That's why I wouldn't pick him.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about a lot of people showing up and costing people opportunities, costing people this and that. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot. You're adding a lot of elements to that. Wyatt Six.
That's why Punk, it's after.
Punk after. Yeah, but that's still a lot of, like, all these people showing up and screwing this guy. It's still twice in the same night.
That's WWE.
It's heavy. It's a lot. You're not wrong. WWE could do it, but and I think we have one more match here on this card. It's only a 5-match card, which is great. We don't need too much. Keep it simple. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens taking on the Bloodline, led by the new Tribal Chief, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Jacob Fatu. Those are 4 guys. They're going to pick 3. I don't know which 3. They haven't told us. I think it'll be Solo, Tama, and maybe Tongaloa, and they'll save Jacob Fatu just kind of standing outside, and He won't wrestle yet?
I think it might be who gets across the border, and then let's go from there.
Are there issues?
I feel with Jacob Fatu, I think there may be issues. So
Oh.
I think it's more of a wait and see. Did we see them on SmackDown tonight? We did not. We saw them in a pre-tape, right?
Yeah. Are they not in
So,
Canada?
I don't know. Maybe they weren't sure about this, so that's why they kind of kept it vague on who would actually be in the match.
Because Jay said, thanks for letting me in the country.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he meant it more like because my brother's not in and my cousin didn't get in either.
Possibly.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Because we did see a promo from those guys, but it was a pre-tape backstage thing with Solo sitting there talking and the guy standing behind him. I liked the promo, though. I thought it was short, sweet, to the point, and added a new element to the story. It progressed the story. Solo sitting there says, this is the Ula Falu, and this is the it's the thing that looks like a bunch of hot peppers, the lei there that Roman wears, and he's like, this makes me the tribal chief. This isn't what I wanted, but this is what my family needed. Roman Reigns wasn't man enough to defend our championship and our family's legacy at WrestleMania, so I'm tribal chief now, and I'm going to take the WWE title from Cody Rhodes, and if Roman has a problem with that, he can come take this from me, and Cody will acknowledge me. So, Solo taking the Roman catchphrase, making a direct threat and challenge to Roman Reigns, and also saying he's going to take the title from Cody Rhodes, and he's the new tribal chief. I liked it. It was well executed. It was a fun little way to end SmackDown. It was unusual, right? Usually if we're going to see a promo to end SmackDown, it's in the ring. But this was like a backstage thing, and it was very short. But it was cool. It was ominous. It was well done. The lighting was good on it, Like production-wise, it looked good. Solo delivered. The guys behind him looked intimidating. It's good. It's good stuff. And, I don't think Roman's coming back at Money in the Bank, but I think we're on the road to it. I could see Solo and Cody wrestling at SummerSlam and then Roman getting involved in that match, in a way. I could see Roman coming back at SummerSlam.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that makes a lot of sense. To me, the new bloodline kind of has to win at Money in the Bank. Yeah. To kind of help establish them that this is a new force that you have to worry about. And it puts pressure on Cody where it's like, oh, you lost the match. Now Solo's coming for the title at SummerSlam. So it makes a lot of sense.
I would even have Cody take the fall.
Sure, whatever. I mean, it sucks because I feel like Kevin might take the fall, but it doesn't really matter who takes the fall, I think. As long as Solo gets the win, leading him to get a title match.
I think it'd be more impactful if Cody took the fall because I think Solo getting a title match, like it's almost like you still don't really buy Solo as being the guy to beat Cody. But if you see Solo beating Cody, it helps. Like if Solo pins Cody tomorrow night, you go, okay, well, they had him pin Cody, He looks more intimidating. It's something you can go off of.
Yeah.
Whereas he's not that believable at this point, still up against Cody. So I would have the Bloodline guys win too, and I think Solo get the win, pinning Cody, but we'll see. I think the match will be good. Kevin Owens isn't showing up to have a bad match. That's clear.
And I'm expecting this to be before, or it might be the match right after a Money in the Bank, because I think a Money in the Bank will start the show,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe have Money in the Bank a little before the main event. So maybe you put this as like the second to last match.
I think you do. This is the order that I think it goes in. Men's Money in the Bank first.
Wow. Okay.
Because I think you're going to have a cash in at the end of the show. Or an attempted cash in. So I think you start off with Men's Money in the Bank.
That makes sense.
Then you go to Sammy and Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do the 6-man tag.
Mm-hmm.
Then you do Women's Money in the Bank. Then you do Priest and Rollins. That's how I would do it.
I mean, I guess they don't have a match to make a bit of a buffer between the ladder match and the main event. So I guess you're kind of right then. You kind of have to maybe do a segment or something, like a promo or something, just to give it a little bit of breathing room.
I could see them swapping. I could see them also like doing the 6-man just before the main event of Priest and Rollins, with the Women's Money in the Bank right before that, and using the 6-man as kind of a buffer match. But I think they want the crowd kind of hot for that one too, and they know the crowd will be hot for the ladder match. And with, like, once Drew wins the Money in the Bank at the open of the show, when Priest and Rollins are clearly in the main event, the crowd is going to feel like, okay, like they're going to be buzzing because something's going to happen. Like they'll sense like, okay, Drew won. It started the show. This is closing the show. It's the Raw title. Drew's got the thing. He said he's going to cash in the same night. They might even do a promo with Drew middle of the show saying, I'm going to cash in whoever wins, like just to kind of raise the anticipation. That way you can have a really hot match like the Women's Money in the Bank where there's crashes and falls and the crowd's going bananas, and then they'll still be awake and ready and on fire for the main event because they'll be anticipating something big happening in the main event, like a title change or a cash in or a CM Punk appearance, right?
Right.
That's how you book it, John.
Makes sense.
We're pretty good at this. We're pretty good. We know what we're doing.
Hopefully they do.
Like JBL, baby. Wrestling God. JBL. Legend. Okay, so that's WWE stuff. Anything else in WWE we need to cover before we jump over to AEW's?
I think, was there anything on Raw that was really worth talking about? I don't believe so. I feel like Raw, it wasn't anything spectacular in terms of, it wasn't a bad show. Again, it was in Boston, so I like that. I thought Liv Morgan's first pitch wasn't very good, but they still showed it and buried her anyways, so that was fun. No, that was pretty much it. Not much else happened.
No. Triple Threat was good. I thought Sammy and Braun Breaker's promo was good.
Those were the highlights.
I liked when Dominic Mysterio landed kind of mounted on Liv Morgan outside the ring, and Liv seemed to enjoy it. I kind of like that. That was fun.
I feel like that finish was kind of weird because it was like Zelina hit the ropes that caused Liv to hit the ropes that caused Dom to fall, which is all in front of the referee. Yeah. So it's like, that's not some sort of DQ? Like,
yeah, the finish was bad. That spot there where Dom, just the way Liv's face kind of turned, like she's doing it well. Like when she realizes Dom's on her and she's like, ooh, like it's not terrible acting from Liv Morgan. I'm trying to give her some credit because I have buried her a lot on the show, but I feel like this role for her is working. She's pulling it off, Now, the Vince element I didn't think of and all of that, but I feel like this is, for Liv, it's been a decent character for her. Which, one of the most interesting characters she's ever kind of done.
Well, before this, it was like she wanted to sex with Lana, right? And then she didn't want to have sex with Lana.
That was
She
a
just wanted to
long
beat her
time
up.
ago, John. That was a long time ago. You're going way back because you're thinking of the other most interesting thing that Liv Morgan ever did, which was come out of that bathtub and be like, "Hey, Lana, why are you marrying Dolph Ziggler? Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Yes. Why are you marrying Bobby Lashley? I thought we were having sex together. We loved each other." And everybody was like, "Oh, yeah, what?" And then it was just ignored, and it was like, no, that didn't happen. Right? Like they're like, no, we were just, Liv was lying. And Liv was like, yeah, I was lying. And it was like, why? I'm a liar, I guess. I don't know. Because Vince changed his mind at Vince times. At the end of Vince times were real odd. Things would happen, then they would stop happening. You'd be like, why? What? Big things, too. Like that. There was like so much build up for that. And then the payoff was like, oh my God, they're lovers? Liv Morgan and Lana are lovers? And then the next week it was like, no, they're not. They're not. Forget it. We decided they're not. You can't just do it and say they are and then be like, forget that, okay? But that was the other most interesting thing that she ever did, but it went nowhere.
That's right. That Shock TV back then.
Yeah, well, this is a little bit better. You got to give it that, John. It is a bit better than that. The other stuff.
It's just, again, like how it's so close to the whole Vince stuff. It's like, it just makes me sick thinking about it.
Yeah, it is crazy. I didn't even think about that. Thanks, John. I was trying to enjoy this storyline, and then you made it, like, sinister. But I think you are correct. So I am happy you brought it up, but it does kind of ruin the enjoyment for me. But that's okay.
Well, you can still enjoy, like, Toni Storm and whatever she does. 'Cause that's still fun.
Oh, yes. Yes! Antoinette says, she likes your shirt, Johnny, the Genesis shirt. I like it, too. And you can get one over at merch.ringsidereport.net. Merch.ringsidereport.net to go get that shirt, the Genesis shirt that Johnny is wearing right now. You can get one yourself, Antoinette, over at merch.ringsidereport.net. Over on our website, ringsidereport.net. Hey, John, something happened in AEW this week that maybe has not happened ever in the history of AEW.
What's that?
Bryan Danielson won twice in the same week.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. Wow. It did happen, though. It's true.
2 times.
And he's going to the finals.
Yeah.
And apparently he is the odds-on favorite to win the Owen, apparently.
I like that they're calling it the Owen now. I'm going to win the Owen. It's good. He is the favorite to win. That would be sick if he won. I feel like he will not win, but I hope that he does. But he beat Shingo Takagi at the pay-per-view, and then he beat Pac this week and advanced to the finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. And the winner of the tournament gets a shot at Swerve and the AEW World Championship at All In at Wembley. If Bryan got that shot, it would be pretty sweet. Bryan and Swerve for the belt. Not against it.
I felt they had the best match. I know it was the opening match, but I thought it was the best match I saw in Dynamite this past week.
Oh, Bryan and Pac? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, of course. It was kind of crazy that they even did that on free TV. Like, it was pretty awesome. Matchup-wise, like, when we found out at Forbidden Door that this was going to be the semifinal in the tournament, we knew we were in for a tremendous match. And they delivered. It was very good. I mean, you say Bryan Danielson and Pac, everybody knows what you're going to get. You're going to get a tremendous match. And Danielson actually won. I wasn't sure he was going to win. You know, because you can't ever, that's the thing with Bryan Danielson. You never know. Seems like he's going to win, and then he doesn't. And you go, what? Why? And then you hear, like, well, he decided not to win because he wanted the other guy to win. And you're like, why? The other guy sucks. Stop being so goddamn selfless, Brian. Be selfish a little bit and win some matches. He won this one. He wasn't like, no, I think Pac should win. I want to see Pac in the finals at Wembley. He's British, you know? No, we didn't do that. We went with Brian winning this match. Good. Match was good. Yeah.
I forget. Someone said that they got asked, like, who's the locker room leader in AEW? And right away it was Bryan Danielson. So I think maybe he realizes that. And he's like, because everyone looks up to him, that he has to show a good example. And my good example is by putting people over, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's true. But sometimes you got to know when to put people over, and you got to know when to put yourself over. Because if you just put people over in the big matches, people stop believing in you in those big matches, and you become less effective.
That's true, too.
So you got to win some once in a while. Chris Jericho knows all about that. Jericho has struck a very nice balance with that over the career that he's had, the lengthy career, you know? He's been wrestling for so long. He's been wrestling since the early 90s. And I don't remember a time where he was, like, winning all the matches. You know? He's always lost a bunch, but he's won when he needed to. And despite the fact that he's never been, like, this dominant guy who wins all the matches all the time, he can lose here or there. He's never been a guy you look at as not a main eventer, not a guy who could win the world title on any given night. Still to this day. I think Brian needs to strike that balance a little bit more. I feel like in his AEW run, he's lost some matches that he's probably just saying, well, I want to let the other guy win. He's being a nice guy. He's being a good, leader. But sometimes you got to go, no, I feel like there are a few along the way he should have won. And it was really just pointless to lose. You don't make everybody that beats you, Sometimes guys beat you and it doesn't really do that much for their career. It doesn't do as much as it should. But, it's happened to Jericho too.
You're right. I'm still keeping my pick of the wild card, because it was who I thought was going to be. And I think he's a pretty good pick to win it.
Hangman Page showing up this week as the wild card, courtesy of the Elite, which we did kind of expect, right?
Made the most sense. And I was a little surprised by the promo afterwards, because I thought just go full on heel, but he didn't.
No.
Still, I think eventually he will, though.
I mean, he was full-on heel in the match against Jeff Jarrett, who was the crowd favorite, and Hangman was being very aggressive and mean and kind of underhanded a bit. But then he went after the Young Bucks afterwards, like, I'm not your... And he had, like, this different voice. He was, like, kind of Batman. I'm not your... Like, what was that? I'm Hangman.
I don't know. He's trying to be different, I guess. I don't know. He's got a different song now, too, so he's trying to be a different kind of person.
I like the song. I like the entrance. The voice in the promo was a little bit weird. I don't know where that came from. But he kind of said, like, I'm not with you guys. I don't want to help you guys. I'm in it for myself. So he's not back with the Elite. They wanted him to be the fifth member in their Blood and Guts team, but he didn't want to be. Okay.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. It's going to be Team AEW versus Team Elite at Blood and Guts. When?
I believe July 24th.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but around that week.
Sounds about right. And
yeah.
Team AEW is like Team Elite, like they're starting to build this match and promo it. Team Elite still needs a fifth member. And Team AEW, I think, is Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, and 3 other dudes.
I want to say the Acclaim might be added to that.
Oh, right, the Acclaim. Maybe Father Butt as well. That'll complete the team.
Maybe, maybe not, though. I could see them add someone else.
Mm-hmm. What else happened at Dynamite this week? Britt Baker cut a promo. This was pretty good. The Britt Baker promo?
It was eventful, without question. I thought a little too long. They could have made it a bit more condensed a little bit, because like you had her promo, then you had Mercedes to come out, do a promo, and then you had another promo with them both in the ring. Like, it was good in the end, but I just thought, like, that was like, what, half an hour right there? It felt very long. I was like, you could have maybe, cut that down just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I thought it was good, though. Britt was really good, talking about her injury and everything that was going on with her, having like a mini stroke. She had some serious issues going on. That was scary.
I mean, that's scary where it's like, you think about going into every match now, it's like, because if you have apparently with women too, if you have a stroke, like, there's a higher chance you might have another one.
Oof.
So, like, you always have to be, they have a medical staff, so I'm sure they're always thinking about that, but I'm sure this is a huge reason why, like, it took so long. They had to be 100% sure she'd be okay, and you always have to be thinking on the back of your mind too, like, could this happen again? That's scary.
Yeah, it was scary. So Britt cut this promo. The fans welcomed her back. Very happy to see Britt. And then Mercedes Moné shows up, and she comes in and does her whole entrance and has a championship celebration, but Britt's still in the ring. And Mercedes is like, what are you doing here? And Mercedes is like full on heel at this point. The crowd is booing her. The crowd is with DMD, not with CEO. And it looks like Mercedes versus Britt is going to be the match at the All In. And, yeah, I mean, Britt comes out. I don't think it was just the crowd, though, John. I think Mercedes was positioned as the heel. Britt comes out, cuts this emotional promo about returning from injury and all of this. And then here comes Sasha Banks, like, interrupting and kind of disrespecting her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seemed like she was presented as the heel, and the crowd just went with it.
I feel she's always been that kind of character. It's just the crowd was never really against Willow. Like, she kind of was arrogant, but was never really booed, or kind of half booed, half not.
Yeah.
This is like, Chicago loves Britt Baker.
Yeah.
And they were completely on her side. And she gained a lot of sympathy with that promo that she cut. And again, Mercedes comes out there and acts like she's above everything. Like, she's very easy to hate. Yeah. Some people still like her, but I think we said this before too. Like, she's better as a heel. She cuts promos better. Like, her promo is going to be better now. Yeah. She's a heel. She comes off better as a heel. So this is better for her in the end. I just feel it's rough for Britt to come back and have a big match when you've been gone for so long. Like, her matches have always been, like, okay, but that put her in that kind of situation, that's a huge ask, I think.
It's going to be a tough match. But if she's ready to come back, she should be ready to come back. Yes, right?
Another thing, too, like, the promos are good. Mm-hmm. Like, can the match live up to the promos? Because I feel like the promos are excellent. Can the match be excellent?
I think it can.
Huge ask as well.
I think it can be.
Okay.
I mean, they're both pretty good.
It's just, she's been out for almost a year. It's tough.
I think Mercedes could carry pretty much anybody to a decent match, though.
Yeah, a decent match.
Yeah.
An excellent match is the big thing.
Well, we'll see how good Britt is, what she brings to the table. But I think Mercedes is going to make it good enough, and then we'll see. But I think it could be very good, and it's a giant match to make. Mercedes Moné, Britt Baker, and AEW for the TBS title. That's huge. What's a bigger match at All In? What's the bigger women's title match? Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné, or Toni Storm versus Mariah May? Uh-oh. Johnny just froze out on me. Are you with me?
Well, the other match is more for the hometown, right? So.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did I freeze? Let me try to refresh on you.
Johnny's going to come back. Johnny, are you with me? Johnny? Uh-oh. Johnny's having connection issues.
I can hear. I just can't.
Oh, boy. What's happening? Something's gone wrong here. What's going on? It's not raining outside, is it? What's the deal? Oh, no. Johnny had some big stories to tell as well from last weekend. He was out wrestling. Oh, no. Did we lose Johnny altogether? He's just gone. Franco316 says it's AJ's fault. I agree with you, Franco. I think it is AJ's fault. Anytime there's connection issues, it's always AJ's fault. I think we have Johnny back. Johnny, are you with me? Oh, he's not.
Not quite, no.
No? Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, we have talked a lot about pro wrestling here. I did want to mention Daniel Garcia and Will Ospreay. They had a solid main event on Dynamite this week. MJF has been in Daniel Garcia's corner, kind of being buddy-buddy with Daniel Garcia. And they've been teasing a match between Garcia and MJF at Wembley. But I'm not sure that's going to be the match. I think it's going to be MJF versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. I think that's what Ospreay is going to be doing at Wembley. I think that's what MJF is going to be doing at Wembley. Because after Ospreay got the win over Daniel Garcia and showed him respect, MJF attacked Daniel Garcia. MJF was in Garcia's corner trying to help him win, trying to help him beat Will Ospreay. MJF seems to hate Will Ospreay. He doesn't like him, and I think he wanted Daniel Garcia to take him out for him. And the match was very good, and at a certain point during the match, MJF slips the diamond ring to Daniel Garcia, and he wants him to punch Ospreay in the face with it and win that way with cheatery. But Daniel Garcia doesn't want to play that stuff, and he gives the ring back to MJF, and then he turns around, gets hit with the hidden blade, 1, 2, 3, and Ospreay wins. Match was very good. And then MJF kind of went in the ring, and he was disappointed that Garcia didn't win. And I'm not sure why he attacked Garcia. I'm not sure if it was always the plan to attack Garcia. I don't know if he attacked Garcia because he failed against Will Ospreay. We haven't heard the motivations exactly from MJF as to why he was kind of friendly towards Garcia and then he totally turned on him and attacked him. But it did happen. And Ospreay came back, and he seemed upset about it. And I feel like Ospreay's going to need a big-time opponent for that show. MJF is going to need a big-time opponent for that show. They're already starting to build Ospreay versus MJF. I don't think they're doing it for no reason. I think they're starting to build Ospreay versus MJF for an international title match at All In August at Wembley Stadium, which would be a massive match. MJF versus Ospreay, 1. Right? The original. The first. I don't believe they've ever wrestled before. So this will be a huge match, big stadium show. I mean, AEW could really stack the deck here. Toni Storm, Mariah May, we already talked about being a huge match. Mariah May probably going to win this Owen Hart Cup tournament and find her way into the finals as the winner and then getting a title shot at Toni Storm, her mentor and best friend. And then I think we'll probably do Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné, which is another giant match. If you add Ospreay versus MJF and either Hangman versus Swerve or Bryan Danielson versus Swerve for the world title, You got a pretty solid 4 or 5 matches there already. You got a pretty solid basis for a good wrestling show. Apparently it is raining. Somebody's telling me it is raining, so maybe that's why Johnny's internet has died out. I don't know. But we have lost Johnny. I want to give a shout out to Angelo Contagonis dropping a super chat. Antoinette says she wanted to hear about Johnny North's match from last weekend. I did want him to tell the story, but I'm looking at Johnny's internet connection, and he's just not connecting with us. But I think he might be back now. Hold on a second. I think we have him. Johnny, are you back?
Yeah, I think so. Sounds.
Nope. You kind of cut out there, but I think you're with us. You good?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me too well.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay,
John,
cool.
I want to get your thoughts before we go to something else. I was talking about Daniel Garcia and MJF and Will Ospreay and everything that happened there at the main event of Dynamite this week.
Yeah.
I feel like, they were kind of teasing Daniel Garcia and MJF for Wembley, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me. It didn't really feel like a big match. I think after what MJF did to Daniel Garcia this week, we're going to see Will Ospreay MJF for the international title at Wembley.
Oh, yeah? Like, you wouldn't do MJF Daniel Garcia now that's more face versus heel?
No. I think you go big. You got to sell tickets. You got to get people in that building. You got to do the biggest match you could possibly get. Ospreay and MJF is gigantic. Like, MJF and Garcia is not that great. And if MJF wrestles Garcia, who does Ospreay wrestle?
Well, apparently Ricochet's coming in, right?
Okay. Already?
Yeah, apparently, like, very soon Ricochet's going to be there. Like, I could see Ricochet be set for Wembley. And, like, isn't that the match you want?
No. They've been building Ospreay and MJF like that's a big one. I want to see the first chapter in the war of who is the king of AEW. It's those two guys, man. Who's the future?
But it's just for the international title. I feel like that's kind of below MJF, Like, if it's not world title, it shouldn't be something that he should be occupied with.
Disagree. It's Ospreay's belt, and Austin and The Rock wrestled for the Intercontinental title before they ever wrestled each other for the WWF title.
Right before, but once they were world champions, they didn't go back to the IC title.
I know, but whatever. Make an exception.
Okay. Like, I agree with the match, just the title,
Whatever. Take his belt from him in his hometown, He just wants to stick it to him.
Well, they will be in Cardiff, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the week prior, right? Like, they're actually, it's not just one shot deal in the UK. There's a couple of shows in the UK, cool. So maybe.
I think that's what they do. I think it'll be Ospreay and MJF. I hope so. Anyways, I think that's the match to make. And Bryan Danielson versus Swerve would be really nice. I feel like it'll be Hangman, but it would be awesome if it were Bryan Danielson. Johnny, you were wrestling last weekend. You wrestled all around Ontario. Where were you?
First, went to Sudbury, wrestled for Project Wrestling. And I went all the way there, like almost 8 hours, to wrestle somebody from Montreal, actually.
Wow.
Vianney. Yeah. We had a nice little talk segment to hype the match, to start the show. And then we actually had the match a little later on. So it was a nice little hype-up thing, because I was actually was supposed to be a heel, but they always cheered me. So this was to actually make me a face. So, I mean, people were going to cheer me. They already were cheering me, so this kind of just helped solidify that and put me over quite strong. Viviani, we had never worked with each other because we're in different feds in Montreal, but he's I like to wrestle him, and I'm glad we actually got to have a match, and it looks like we're going to have matches with each other going forward in Project X. So that was a great start to the weekend.
Cool. So hang on, John, you're just cutting out a little bit. So you wrestled Matt Viviani in Sudbury last weekend for Project X Wrestling. I don't know if everybody caught all the names and locations there. You're cutting out a little bit, John. So that was cool. You went all the way to Sudbury to wrestle a dude from Montreal, which is always funny. And you said you're going to have more matches with him possibly in the future, so the feud is not over. So that was in Sudbury on the Friday night? Uh-oh. Maybe we won't get the full story from Johnny tonight because it looks like he's frozen once again. What the heck is happening with Johnny's internet? Is it really raining outside? Johnny!
Can't hear if it's raining outside, but that sucks if it is.
I don't know. Your internet is real glitchy tonight. I'm trying to get the full story from you, but it's getting difficult, I think. We may have to save it for another day.
Half of it done, so that's good. We'll get the other half another time.
Well, let's try to get it in before we go. What happened on Saturday?
Saturday I went to knee for wrestling, and I walked in there. They didn't have anyone for car, so was it to wrestle, but also like commentate like the show and wrestle second half of the show. So that was a nice change. I had no how exactly. First time I know we kind of do commentary ourselves, right? But to do wrestling commentary, a neat challenge.
Yeah. I can't hear anything you're saying, John. You sound like AJ right now.
Oh, that's this for them.
Nope, I got nothing there. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Johnny is glitching out, and we'll get the full story for your wrestling excursion in Ontario next time, John. Tomorrow night, right? We'll be on tomorrow night, right after Money in the Bank. Right? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. We will hear the whole story from Johnny North tomorrow night after Money in the Bank, okay? We'll finish that story tomorrow, John. John?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me, though.
Yes. I said we'll finish your story, your excursion of wrestling story tomorrow night after Money in the Bank.
If we're not all glitchy tomorrow, yes. We'll wait and see.
Oh, you were good for most of the show tonight. It's just at the end something happened. I think the weather is affecting it or something. We'll figure it out. We'll get you all settled. And we'll be back here tomorrow night right after WWE's Money in the Bank to recap the action, give you our match of the night, score on 10 for the whole PLE. Thank you to everybody for checking in tonight. Thank you to Antoinette for the gifted membership. Thank you to Angelo Contagones for the Super Chat. You're the Super Chat leader of the night. And, of course, Angelo and Antoinette, two of our favorite members, but we love all the members over at join.ringsidereport.net and membership.ringsidereport.net, the best way to support the channel, just like Angelo does, just like Antoinette, just like Franco316, Jimmy, James, CSL, Lorne, Leor. Leor says it's Tiffy time tomorrow. Oh, my. Oh, my, Leor. Ryan Katz, Franco316. So many members checking in tonight on the chat. Jimmy James. All the members over at join.ringsidereport.net. Thank you for supporting the channel. We'll be back here tomorrow night after Money in the Bank on the Ringside Report Network. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time.